everybody, it's Brooke. Welcome back to another episode of the A Knit Soul podcast. My name is Brooke and I'm the owner and dyer behind Fully Spun, and right on time here is Rolo. And it has been a very long time since I recorded. I think it's been over a month at this point, but I'm back now and I'm happy to see you guys. Happy New Year. It's 2018, 2017 is behind us. And we're all going to have great things happen for us in 2018. And so since this is a New Year episode, I thought I'd mix it up a little bit, do something a little bit different. So up first, though, is some administrative news. So first, Fully Spun has been featured in the Knitting Expat Mina Phillips Wanderlust Sock Club collection for this year. And we're actually featured in the very first pattern, which is out this month, called Rust Feber. And the featured yarn is our Fully Spun sock, which is a 3-ply, 85% merino, superwash merino, 15% nylon yarn that's dyed in the Fully Spun method, and is has a really nice twist to it. And so that yarn will be back in stock on January 15th. In 5 new colorways, and so definitely stay tuned for that shop update. That shop update will have some of our 2-ply yarn as well. We've also got a lot more exciting stuff coming in through the next couple months. I'll be doing a trunk show in Durham at Freeman's Creative on February 2nd. And then I also will be designer collaboration happening at the end of February. And also I'll be vending at a couple shows in March, hopefully. So definitely stay tuned. I am definitely reinvigorated and refreshed as far as having, a little bit more sunshine outside, and, work has sort of mellowed out a little bit. It kind of, got pretty crazy through the fall. So the last bit of administrative news, the holiday sweater cal is over. Needless to say, I did not finish my sweater, but I did finish the sweater that mattered. So with that said, and of course he also starts eating right when I record, even though he just, for hours has not needed to eat, and now he needs to eat and is looking for his food that he just scooted under the fridge. So, welcome back. Nothing's changed. All right, so there were 2 winners pulled from the holiday sweater knit-along that I hosted with Melissa of Honeybee Knits. The first winner is pulled from the Finished Objects thread, and Melissa actually pulled that person, and I will put their name below. And then the second winner I pulled from the Chatter thread, and that person is this knitting girl, and I will type her name under, I just looked at it, but then I forgot whether it was the knitting girl or this knitting girl. And that person is going to receive this beautiful box bag from Mitchell's Creations, and this was kindly donated by Tara. And also this skein of Fully Spun and the blue hole on the 2-ply BFL base. And so I did a little bit of stalking, and her favorite color was blue, so I thought that she would really enjoy this one, and I will be reaching out to her to get her address, and I hope she enjoys it. Alright, up next, finished objects. But my only finished object from the last couple months is not here with me. It was a Christmas gift for a coworker's daughter, and he said that she really loved it, and so I'm really excited to hear that. I will insert a picture of it. It was knit out of Fully Spun yarn in the Harvest Moon colorway, which is a fall colorway, and so we'll be back next fall, probably around August, September timeline, but it's gone for now. And so that was a lot of fun to knit. I paired it with Cloudborn twist fingering, which actually, when you knit with it, it feels quite tight, but it blooms pretty well, and so it creates a beautiful finished fabric. And I've been thinking about doing the Damayaka Lopa sweater. And saw that yarn and was considering it, and I think I definitely will use that because it doesn't have the scratchiness to it that Knit Picks palette has when you knit with it. So that's definitely very exciting to see. Alright, up next, works in progress. I have been knitting earnestly on the gift knits that I have in my queue. I have quite a few, and that'll be my focus over the next few months, in addition to a couple samples for my shop. The first one is the Baldric sweater by Isabel Kraemer, and I'm knitting this in Knitpicks City Tweed, which has this is the Morning Glory colorway, and it's 55% merino wool, 25% alpaca, and then 20% Donegal tweed. And this yarn is so soft and wonderful, wonderful to knit with, and I know that the finished fabric is going to be so soft. I really would like to knit myself a sweater out of this as well. So this sweater is for one of my coworkers, and I finished one sleeve. I'm almost done with the second sleeve, and then I will go ahead and pick the body back up and finish that. I like to knit the sleeves first, usually on sweaters if I can, because they can be quite tedious, and so I definitely want to avoid any loss of interest. So yeah, so that's going pretty well. I'm trying to crank it out because I want to knit another pair of colorwork mittens for my trunk show in February. And then up next, I cheated a little bit. I couldn't resist casting on one of my Christmas presents. My sister bought me a Hue Shift Afghan kit in the Jewel colorway. And this colorway shown is actually the rainbow colorway, but the Jewel colorway just has a little bit a darker tones to it overall. And so I did cast that on. I'm still working on the first square, and it's going well so far. I'm trying to do like a square like every 2 days or so to just, you know, pick it up and finish it up a little bit at a time. And it's definitely an enjoyable knit, and I am weaving in my ends as I go. I saw a cool video that showed you how to weave in your ends as you knit by tucking it behind the working yarn as you do in colorwork knitting, and it actually creates a pretty neat effect. And once I block it and it stretches as much as it will, then I'll go ahead and trim it. But that's just how I've been working the ends in as I go, so I don't have to do them all all at the end. So yeah, so that's that. Yep, and those are my only two active works in progress right now. Up next, I'm going to do a little bit of a new segment. I'm going to go through a few patterns that I would like to knit this year. You're going to find something very similar about all of them. I'll let you go and chat with Future Brooke for a second, and then I'll meet you back here. Alright, you guys, so I thought I would pop in and go through a few patterns that I really would like to be able to have knit in 2018. These are patterns that have been sort of on my mind probably for some of them for at least the last 6 months, and I'm going to go through and show you guys images of the patterns, and then I'll go through and talk about why I'd like to knit them. So in no particular order, first up is the Shisui Shrug by Suzanne Summer. I really enjoyed knitting the Love You Baby shawl by her, and the Shisui Shrug is a brioche sweater, and the way it's knit is that you start out with knitting a shawl and then you transform it into a sweater. And I actually have already dyed the yarn for it that I'd like to knit with, and it's just been sitting staring me in the face for the last couple months. I definitely would like to get that one done. Up next is the Jolgren by Andy Satterlund, and that pattern came out in October, November, when I was already very committed to knitting some Christmas knits, so I wasn't able to knit it for myself this Christmas, but it really is a beautiful sweater, and I think would very much complement the style I like to wear. And I just absolutely would love to have a Christmas sweater. I probably like in a navy blue with some like maybe gold beads on it would be so beautiful. And so I really want to have that for next Christmas. Maybe I should start it in July and have a little Christmas in July fun. Up next is a Georgetown sweater by Hannah Fettig, which is just a really simple cardigan, but it's such a classic feel. And part of my wanting to knit that is that I really would like to have a wardrobe full of hand knit sweaters that fulfill sort of all my sweater needs. And this one would be one that's very wearable at work because of its simplicity, and also just looks very cozy and comfortable. Up next is Boxy Chevrons by Suzanne Sommer, which is just a boxy sweater. I picked this one out when I was knitting the Granito and just really loved it, and it also is actually already in my library, and I already have the yarn I'd like to knit it with. I over-dyed some yarn that I had come back from the mill, that I wasn't quite happy with. So that one is another one where the yarn's it's ready for me. It's just been sitting and waiting and ready for me to knit once I get started on it. Although it probably will be lower on the priority list, only because I have been knitting fingering weight sweaters for like the last 3 or 4 months. Up next, another fingering weight sweater, which is also already in my library. I don't already have the yarn for it, but it's the Damayaka Lopa by Peniguri, and it's a beautiful sweater. Again, a nice one that could become a great work sweater. And also, I absolutely love knitting colorwork, and so the idea of a colorwork sweater just seems very exciting to me. Up next is Aspen by Michelle Wang. This is another one that I noticed in the fall, and I just love all the beautiful cables. I love the length, and really this one would be like a home sweater and I am lazy on the weekends and dressed like a bum sweater. So I really think that it could be a really beautiful sweater and also an enjoyable knit. The next one is Mar by Lisa Richardson, and this one is nice for a casual day out and on a weekend, but maybe to mix it up a little bit, and is very much in line with my personal style and how I like to dress sometimes, and so I think it would be a great addition to my wardrobe. And then finally, last but not least, this is the only one that's not a sweater, but it is one that's also already in my library, which quite a few of these are, and I already have the yarn ready to go. It's the Solansa by Becky Sorensen, and this is a beautiful shawl with baubles, and I really just want to have a big winter shawl, and right now it's winter, so maybe I might push this one up in the priority list, only because I have been knitting so many sweaters, but first I've got to get these gift knits out of the way. Alright, you guys, that's all the things that I have been dreaming about knitting and really would like to get done in 2018. And I will turn you back over to Past Brooke so you can finish out the podcast. Alright, you guys, so you saw all of those wonderful, beautiful sweaters that I'd like to knit this year. Of course, I've got a lot of works in progress that I'd like to get through first. But I think in celebration of the spirit of knitting sweaters and creating a handmade wardrobe, I think I would like to do a year-long sweater cowl this year. So the way that it will work is that I will have continuous chatter thread for the year and quarterly FO threads, and then at the end of each quarter I will do a prize drawing, one from both, and the prizes will change over time. I'm sure if you are a maker and would like to donate a prize to one of those giveaways, definitely just give me a shout, either on RAVELRY Instagram or an email, which is in the description box below. And definitely would love if you would join me. Minimal restrictions. All sweaters should be adult sweaters only, unless you're a child or a teenager and you're knitting something for yourself. And then also, works in progress are more than welcome. I've got I've got plenty, and so the point is to finish them so you can wear them. And so works in progress are open throughout the year. And we'll just do quarterly drawings from those of you who participate. So I hope if you maybe participated in the holiday sweater cowl and didn't get a chance to finish, you'll hop on over to this one, and hopefully we can, keep pushing through. And so as well, if you're looking at the sweater I'm wearing and thinking you want one for yourself, if you'd like to knit a sweater for the cowl out of fully spun yarn, I will put a discount code into the chatter thread, and that will get you 18% off of 3 or more skeins of fully spun yarn, and that will be valid throughout the entire year. I really enjoy chatting with everybody during the holiday sweater cowl, and I'm hoping we can keep this sweater mojo going and create some beautiful things, and I can't wait to see them. Alright guys, so that's it. Short and sweet as usual. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, definitely hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more craft and lifestyle videos from me, definitely hit the subscribe button below. See you in the next one.